Good afternoon. I would like to introduce Luke, who is involved with the Occupy Wall Street movement. Luke has a very good insight to the economic problems today and will explain the role of the Occupy Wall Street movement. But just before Luke's presentation, can you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Yu and I am the head of finance.
My name is Steve, and I am the head of estates.
George, head of strategy and planning.
Andreas, head of procurement.
My name is Tracy, and I am an administrative assistant. I shall be taking the minutes of the meeting.
Thank you guys, and a special thanks to Tony, who has given me the opportunity to talk to you. I know that Tony has tried very hard to educate his senior management team. He has tried to give you a balanced viewpoint regarding the current economic collapse. I understand Charles, who is a chief executive officer of a leading bank, has given his perspective. Also Jennifer, who is an expert on macroeconomics, has also given her perspective. Tony has even introduced you to the alternative media and has shown clips from Gregory Mannarino. I have a lot of respect for Gregory Mannarino. He provides daily blogs, has a very good understanding of macroeconomics, and is not afraid to tell it as it is. Before I start my presentation, I want to show you a clip that reflects our problems.
The President of the United States!
Mortgages, cars, consumer shite, government spending all through the night, pensions and healthcare and welfare rights, education wars to fight.
Ooh, I love a good war to fight.
Run up a deficit, ignore the facts, blame someone else, put up tax. I can't deny we had a crack, but now we gotta pay it back.
You know what you are. You're
dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. The addiction to credit just goes on and on.
Give it to
dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. A bailout, ooh, you turn me on. You know what you're doing to me, don't you? I know you do. If you can't afford it, don't be ill at ease. No? Spend it anyway, you've got voters to appease. Take the prudent savers and just give them a squeeze.
Ow!
That's the economics of Keynes.
One more time now.
Quantitative easing, zero interest rates. Steal from the future, hide the bad mistakes. We gotta keep those asset prices high. Don't matter if the credit's dry. Dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. Try to pay the debt off with inflation. Dead bomb,
yeah.
You're a dead bomb. Malinvestment, ooh, you turn me on. A boom caused by excess credit will always bust. Yeah, you've then got two choices, decide you must abandon the addiction, the credit lust, or the currency collapses, it just turns to worthless dust.
Yeah.
Dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. Destroy the country's money, anything to carry on. Dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. Bubbles, ooh, you turn me on.
Oh, I love that girl.
Okay, there was a bit of a shock factor there, but I think it got your attention. Okay, down to business. To be blunt, we have always been controlled by the elite. It's just that throughout history the balance of power keeps changing. However, recently the balance of power is shifting very quickly to the rich elite. And trust me, if we remain passive, we will become enslaved. Make no mistake at all, the elite have total disdain for us.
Wow, you make it sound so dire. Surely the politicians are in power to help the people.
You need to get real, Steve. Can I ask how old you are?
I am 55 years of age. Why do you ask?
Steve, you are a baby boomer, and have been very fortunate in living in one of the most stable periods in history. The bad news, Steve, that is about to end, and it's about to end abruptly.
How can you be so sure?
Okay, a brief history of money. Anybody heard of Nathan Rothschild?
Yes, he had incredible influence on the financial affairs in London back in 1817. He said, "I care not what puppet is placed on the throne to rule the empire. The man that controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply."
That's right. So you see, there have always been narcissistic people in power, but today, they can truly exercise their power.
Why are matters so different today?
It's different, because it is global, but I will get onto that in a moment. Can anyone tell me anything about the Federal Reserve Bank?
Yes, it was established in 1913. There is nothing federal about the bank. It is a private bank owned by stockholders. They loan currency into existence with interest to the government. It is the taxpayers that have to pay the interest.
Can anybody tell me what the objective of the Occupy Wall Street movement is?
Yes, they are anti-capitalist and wish to bring down the capitalist system.
Steve, that perception is wrong. The mainstream media try to portray us as anti-capitalist, but they are anti-crony capitalist.
What do you mean by that?
Capitalism in its true sense is not operating within the financial system. 2008 was the year when the financial system was on the brink of collapse. The greedy banking elite and the politicians allowed it to happen. Politicians love the power and the banking elite love the money. I know that Charles and Jennifer have explained fractional reserve banking, but I feel I need to talk about it from the Occupy Wall Street movement perspective. Don't get me wrong, fractional reserve banking can be beneficial if applied correctly. Indeed, prior to 1971 there was a sensible fractional reserve ratio of 1 to 9, that is to say 1 unit of gold in reserve supporting 9 units of currency loaned out. Following 1971 the dollar was detached from the gold standard and effectively became a fiat currency, and trust me guys, that's when our problems started. Since 1971 our debt has been growing exponentially. That's because the banking elite introduced credit cards, subprime lending and derivatives. The fiat currency was a vehicle to loan out too much money into existence and became inflationary. The banking elite creamed off the profits and left the average person owing too much debt.
Surely the public were not forced to borrow so much money.
Steve, the banking elite caused a panic. Think about this. They provided 120% mortgages. This meant that loads of people applied for them, thus pushing up the prices. Many of those people that got the subprime mortgage simply could not afford the repayments and defaulted. The banks should have footed the loss. But no, the taxpayer had to foot the bill. Heard of TARP?
Yes, that was the Troubled Asset Relief Program. There was a major bailout of the banks in 2008 because they were considered too big to fail.
The reality was the average person was too small to save. Since 2008 the wealth transfer to the rich has been accelerating following the introduction of quantitative easing. QE is inflationary and makes the average person poorer whilst the rich elite benefit. So you see, true capitalism is not operating in the financial sector. If it were, QE would not be applied and certain banks would fall by the wayside. Has anyone heard of MF Global?
Yes, MF Global was a third-tier commodities and derivatives brokerage firm that collapsed and declared bankruptcy on the 31st of October 2011. MF Global officials dipped into the customers' segregated accounts and took their money.
That's right, and bet you that over 95% of the US population are not aware of the MF Global scandal. In a nutshell, MF Global reflects the attitude of a large proportion of the banking elite. Quite literally, they are stealing from us, and hence the wealth transfer to the rich. It is truly disgusting, and the Occupy Wall Street movement are trying to wake the population up. To date there have been no criminal charges brought against MF Global, yet if we protest the police come down heavily on us. The mainstream media make out that we are troublemakers. Hopefully I have raised the profile of our movement and the message starts to trickle down before it is too late.
Thank you, Luke, for a most informative presentation.